Apart from the buzzer beaters, the most exciting thing about the NBA has to be the fantastic dunks. There have been some crazy good dunks over the years in the NBA, and we've decided to rank the greatest ones in order. Starting with number 20, Dominique Wilkins against Bob Lanier. Dominique Wilkins built a reputation for being one of the greatest dunkers in the history of the sport, so it's not a surprise to see him on this list. However, the best dunk he ever flushed was against 6'11" Bob Lanier as the human highlight reel spun to the baseline and challenged Lanier at the rim. An incredibly super double pump was involved to avoid the incoming block, and of course, the super dunk to humiliate Lanier. Coming in at 19, Derrick Rose against Goran Dragic. We remember this one like it was yesterday. How has it been 12 years since this beauty from Rose? The youngest MVP scratched his back and threw down an absolutely lethal two-handed slam over Goran Dragic on a fast break. It was so crazy that Rose's right shoulder touched the backboard. Oh, and the commentary from Stacey King was so good. Then, at number 18, Blake Griffin versus Kendrick Perkins. Blake Griffin may be a free agent without a team right now, but about a decade ago, he was showcasing his fantastic dunking abilities on a daily basis. After dropping 7'1" Timothy Mozgov on a poster, a year later, Griffin took on Kendrick Perkins. Chris Paul delivered the perfect bounce pass. Griffin got it at the end of it, taking flight and throwing down a monster jam to record another poster. The reaction from DeAndre Jordan is a must-watch. Moving on to number 17, Dwayne Wade against Anderson Varejao. Talking about the greatest dunks of all time, you've got to feature some that simply have no respect for the other person. This one from Dwayne Wade is just as disrespectful a dunk as it can get. He elevated and threw down a dunk over 6'11" Anderson Varejao, who had no idea what was coming. Varejao can't even look back at the highlights because Reggie Miller keeps saying, "Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao." Not to forget Wade stepping over Varejao after the dunk. Next, at number 16, LeBron James against Kevin Garnett. The King's obviously going to be on this list, and he's going to be on this list for doing it against one of the best defensive players of all time, Kevin Garnett. It's known mostly for Kevin Harlan's iconic call of LeBron James with no regard for human life, and it fits perfectly because Garnett shoved him in midair but couldn't stop LeBron from delivering the most violent throwdown. On to number 15, Gerald Green against the Rockets. Marshawn Brooks threw a lob on the fast break as Gerald Green put on a show by getting at the end of it and windmilling it in for an enormous throwdown. He nearly hit his head on the rim, and it got such a reaction that even the Rockets bench forgot who they were supporting. After that, at number 14, Baron Davis against Andrei Kirilenko. The thing with great defenders is that they do get humiliated every now and then. Andrei Kirilenko was destroyed in this play by Baron Davis as he threw down a monster dunk, but what makes this one so iconic is the reaction from Davis and the crowd. Crazy atmosphere and superb to watch. At number 13, Kobe Bryant on Kevin Garnett. He may go on to win the Defensive Player of the Year later, but in 2003, Kobe killed Garnett with this unreal reverse dunk. This one is pure athleticism, but Kobe's full steam ahead to the baseline and manages to avoid Garnett with a reverse dunk. This is so iconic purely because you can't twist your body midair and go for a reverse dunk at that much speed, but then again, you're not Kobe Bryant. Coming in at number 12, Vince Carter's alley-oop against the Clippers. Green's alley-oop was fantastic, no doubt, but this one from Vince Carter is probably the greatest of all time. In fact, a list of Carter's top 10 dunks could easily be substituted with our top 10 list here. Steve Brown's lob pass was poor, but Carter's improvisation as he reached the ball towards the back of his head and threw it down with pure violence. Next, at number 11, LeBron James versus Jason Terry. The King often gets a little too disrespectful toward his opponents, and given how much he hates the TD Garden, this play isn't surprising. 3 versus 1, Chalmers, Cole, and James against Terry on the break, as Cole threw a lob and LeBron reached for it, slamming it down angrily over Terry. The stare down after the dunk is what makes it so legendary. Entering the top 10, DeAndre Jordan against Brandon Knight. This is one of our favorite dunks of all time. Chris Paul set up DeAndre Jordan by throwing a high lob, and Jordan did the rest as he viciously threw down the dunk on a hapless Brandon Knight. The arena would go on to explode, and the dunk could easily have been higher on this list if not for Knight being only 6'2". Then, at number 9, Kobe's behind the back reverse dunk. The master of mid-range, Kobe Bryant, was once an extremely athletic scorer too. He's already made this list, but this play is probably his most emphatic dunk. He caught the pass and went for an improvisation by putting the ball behind his back and jumping while not even facing the rim. You only see players do these things in exhibitions. Coming in at number 8, T-Mac defies gravity. Sean Bradley, standing at 7'6", will go on to get poster diked by one of the best in the business, Tracy McGrady. This is just pure class from Grady, but the commentary from Kevin Harlan as he yells, "He just sucked the gravity right out of the building." He wasn't wrong. T-Mac was flying. Moving on, at number 7, 7, Carter against the Pacers. Vince was known for his dunking plays that wouldn't be out of place in a slam dunk contest, but he'd do it regularly in the NBA. In this one, he drives towards the basket and embarrasses Chris Mullin and Rick Smits with a double pump reverse dunk. Now, this one isn't real. He's almost sitting there in the air. What a player. What an incredible dunk. On to number 6, Tom Chambers against Mark Jackson. This one is from the highlight reel, but it is pure magic. Tom Chambers used Jackson like a pogo stick as he elevated further and further to flush a double-handed dunk. This gliding in the air was almost never seen before, and he jumped so high thanks to Jackson that his head almost hit the rim. Quick tip, watch the highlight after slowing down the clip. Into the top 5, MJ against Patrick Ewing. Don't worry, we wouldn't forget MJ when talking about the greatest dunks in NBA history. This one from Jordan was simply brutal, and it's even better because it was personal. Perfect from start to finish, Jordan fooled 2 Knicks defenders with a hesitant dribble, drove to the baseline, and elevated over Ewing to smash down the basket. Outrageous, out of this world. Next, at number 4, Carter against Alonzo Mourning. As we mentioned before, this could easily be a video about Vince Carter's dunks. This play, though, is fantastic. Carter put Mourning, one of the best shot blockers of all time, on a poster by clocking the ball behind his back and throwing in the dunk with pure power. Easily one of the best posters in NBA history. At number 3, Scottie Pippen on Patrick Ewing. The Knicks and the Bulls hated each other during the 90s. The peak of the rivalry probably came when Scottie Pippen delivered an extremely disrespectful dunk on Patrick Ewing. He started by teabagging Ewing, taunting Spike Lee at the side, and to make it worse, Pippen reminds Ewing on Twitter during the dunk's anniversary. The second greatest dunk of all time, Shawn Kemp on Alton Lister. We weren't lucky enough to catch the action live in the 90s, but this is one dunk that almost everyone has seen because it appears in most highlight reels, as it should. Shawn Kemp, known for his monster dunks, went up against the 7-foot Lister and elevated over him to dunk it down. It was simply brutal, and the celebration that followed was even more incredible. Sadly, you just can't do that kind of celebration anymore. Game's gone a little soft. And at number 1, Dr. J's dunk on Michael Cooper. This is almost always considered to be the greatest dunk of all time. Julius Erving was a phenomenal player, and his combination of 3 things during this dunk, creativity, finesse, and power, made the dunk simply the best ever. Dr. J used the right hand to cradle the ball and jammed it into the hoop with pure authority. The commentary rocks the baby to sleep, and slam dunk will forever live on with this clip. And not to forget, Michael Cooper was an elite defender. He did everything right, but Erving was on another level during this play. And that's a wrap for this video. Which of these dunks is your favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.